Hi friends! As I've recently got my boost of motivation from this recent Facebook group, I feel like I might share how I broke up with cheese. I don't know if I'll put this publicly, but I'll put a link to just my friends can see it. I was someone who loved cheese. There's still a part of me that really does still love cheese. And by cheese I mean cow dairy cheese of the American variety, cows that are being fed corn and all kinds of things that they would not eat naturally. There's just so many things to love about it. The texture, how it melts, the taste, how it boosts everything, etc. So I go to a naturopathic doctor. He does the IgG Larysa food allergy test. I'm like, I ain't got no food allergies. And I go in saying, I don't want to have to go gluten-free. I saw my friend do it. It's unpleasant. I don't want that. Amusingly enough, I wasn't actually allergic to gluten, but since then I have found that by just eliminating it voluntarily, everything has changed. I can do intermittent fasting now, which was recommended to me by some senior missionaries, and therefore I take it with an extra dose of seriousness. Before I was having the hungry hangriness, and it turns out a lot of that was because of the wheat. And I could tell you a whole bunch of things about wheat, about how it's in America sprayed with Roundup the whole field so that it becomes more easily harvested. So we're, in addition to the whole GMO issue, we're eating a bunch of Roundup when we have wheat. That doesn't seem very good to me. I do sometimes have wheat that has come from another country, like Germany. My naturopathic doctor said that there were people that could not consume wheat, some of his patients, that would go to Italy or the Middle East, and the wheat there was okay because it wasn't messed with the way we do here. Okay, so cheese. Getting back to that. So one of the things that turned out was dairy milk was a number 3. So you can have 0, which is no allergy, 1, 2, and 3. 1 is mild allergy, you know, don't go for it on purpose, but it's no big deal. You know, 2 is middle and 3 is like really, really try not to have this. So cow's milk was one of those. I was like, no, how am I going to do this? It took me a good long while because I think in my head, I was trying to believe that it wasn't really true, that I could just do it, and if I am healthy in other ways, it'll be okay. Little did I know the connection with leaky gut and adrenal fatigue. He was talking about adrenal fatigue. I didn't know much about it at the time. I didn't know that could help lead to leaky gut, and I didn't know how that then probably led to an autoimmune disease. My endocrinologist of Western medicine kept telling me, oh, I hadn't done anything to cause this. But the fact that I was taking 23 credits in college and sleeping 2 to 3 hours a night, feeling like a superwoman because your rules don't apply to me, obviously if I can stay awake, I can do it. Well, turns out, yeah, just because you can doesn't mean you're not having major health reductions in your health because of it. Okay, so if I could focus on cheese for a minute. So I went a while thinking, I don't really need to, I'll just reduce it, I'll be careful in other ways. Additionally, a lot of the reading I've done says that we are pretty much all lactose intolerant. We just don't attribute our symptoms to that. Except for a small group of people in Eastern Europe that has a genetic mutation, we all stop producing the enzyme to break down milk. We need it as babies, just like calves need it from their moms as babies, but they too move on to grass. They don't eat milk their whole life. And some would consider us pretty crazy for continuing to eat cow's milk because it doesn't really go well in our bodies. And a lot of the symptoms that you might not think are lactose intolerant, like maybe you knew a kid who would like throw up if he had milk, so he's lactose intolerant. You might think it has to be that dramatic. No, it could be bloating, constipation, so many different things. Whereas things like goat's milk and sheep's milk are much more easily digested and make the digestive system happy. Not to mention, usually goats and sheep are eating what they are meant to be eating. So it's a whole connected system. So cheese. It took a lot of tries and a good amount of time, but 99.3 or 5% of the time, I can say no to cheese. You can give it up in small bits originally, like with a cheeseburger. Yes, it's very appealing, it's melty, it tastes good, but if you put mustard and relish on a cheeseburger with lettuce and tomato, I have found I really don't notice the cheese is not there. Yes, that stringiness might be gone, but if you're thinking about it from a caloric perspective, you're eliminating a big chunk just with that slice of cheese, which you're not even getting the full enjoyment out of. If you're going to have it, just like they say with chocolate, don't eat junky, waxy milk chocolate. If you're going to have chocolate, have the dark stuff, have good quality, so that you're fully enjoying it and it's giving the most benefit without these fillers that you don't need. So, in my opinion, I don't miss cheese like I used to. I mean, I can't express to you how not easy it was and how much effort it took in really convincing myself that this will lead to a healthier life, because I loved cheese so much. And maybe at the holidays I'll have a bit of baked brie because it's baked brie. But other than that, it's just not worth it. I'll have a week of distress from one bit of, cheese. It's just not worth it. It's blinking at me, so I better stop. I guess I talked about a lot of other things besides cheese, so I'll have to continue on more later. But that's it. You can give up cheese. I know it's hard. Believe me, I know it's hard, but it can be done.